So welcome to my first home in America. Obviously we were, not rich or anything, or even middle income, right? God, I just remember this because we had pictures. That was definitely cool and fun. So welcome to my first home in America when I was 5 years old. And it definitely did not look like this because it's just been remodeled and renovated, but it was, you can imagine what an old apartment building would look like. It'd be like this whole block. And I'm sure, I don't remember which one exactly that we lived in, but if you can imagine, like, I think it was 3 or 4 adults with 3 kids living in, I think, a 2-bedroom apartment. And, though it was very crampy, but it was fun. You just got to make it work, right? So you can imagine one bathroom. So I believe I lived here probably for a few years before we moved down to Rainier Vista, the low-income neighborhood that's close by here. But yeah, I mean, good memories here too. Obviously we were, not rich or anything, or even middle income, right? I mean, we were on food stamps and all that. So, but the thing is, my grandmother and uncles and never made me feel like we were lacking of anything. So we always had food and everything. So, but I probably had 1 pair of shoes for the whole school year and stuff like that. And probably 5 outfits that I just rotate with different shirts and different pants, just make it look like I had 10 outfits. But I never felt like I was lacking anything until high school, when you start, to be more aware of things like that with other people, what they're wearing and stuff. But throughout elementary and middle school, I wasn't too concerned about those things. So no, it was, you always probably wanted more money to buy more toys when you were growing up, but, sometimes my grandmother would give me some money to buy like a pack of baseball cards, things like that. So, yeah, I mean, it was fun growing up. God, I just remember this because we had pictures of me standing out on the balcony in the back. And then, yeah, it's, man, it's crazy. I mean, absolutely, because that's, being where you're from, and going through what you go through growing up, is going to teach you and mold you into the person that you're going to become, right? So, no, I definitely, still watch how we spend money on our projects or spend money at home, is because how I was brought up is like, we didn't have a lot of money. So that doesn't mean that now that you have money that you should just be spending it crazy, and not pay attention to it, right? So yeah, I mean, growing up, it's, again, I'm telling you, it's like all those experiences that you've experienced growing up through high school, through, your neighborhood friends, the people you meet, and they're all going to shape you into who you are. So definitely it's important to surround yourself with good friends growing up. I've had my share of just hanging around with bad friends and doing a couple of, not so good things, but, luckily I steered more towards of doing, being a good person and, doing the right thing. So. Welcome to my high school years at Franklin High School. Growing up during your teenage years in high school, this, where you try to learn about yourself, discover about yourself of like, but of course at the same time being raised by my grandmother and just finding ways to get to school before I even bought my first car, just getting to school from Rainier Vista, where I used to live. And then, going from sophomore to junior year, getting my license, and eventually buying like a very cheap $3,500 Honda Accord to take myself to school and to my job. But definitely a lot of good memories. Still, you know, definitely putting a lot of work studying, and then eventually getting my first job at Safeway, which is down the block. But yeah, really good memories here. It was fun hanging around with just different mixed crowd. I mean, I love our school at that time because it was so diverse. I mean, we had all different ethnic groups, and I hung out with, you know, all different types of people. So from break dancers to, you know, just people who like sports, play sports. So it was fun. It was good experience. You know, I think I was a pretty good student as far as, you know, attending most of my classes, and, you know, try to definitely was probably a 3 point something average type of student. You know, definitely was not 4.0, but, you know, I did running start, so I did, you know, earn some college credits while I was attending high school. So, you know, that allowed me to have one less class in senior year so that I can go to work earlier, you know. So, yeah, I mean, so just school, work, study, that was mostly it. I remember during lunchtime, we would go down to the basement floor and practice breakdancing. That was like, you know, the very early stages of breakdancing in the Seattle scene. So, you know, just a group of us just learning how to break dance and practicing. So that was definitely cool and fun. The thing I would change would be, you know, not focusing so much on relationships. I mean, with, you know, with a boyfriend, girlfriend, and more relationship making with friends, and, you know, spending more time figuring out your hobbies and doing things with friends, you know. I was so caught up in trying to find or being in a long-term relationship, and maybe it's because I lacked that in my family, in my home life, you know, being without parents or anyone that showed me love, and I guess I went and seeked that, and that's what all I focused on. And so I spent a lot of time just, you know, being with someone and just focus on that, work, school, and not more time, you know, doing activities that I wish I would have spent more time, like, you know, playing Little League basketball and baseball. I wish I would have tried to spend more time, you know, going to try out for the high school team, and also taking extra practices, you know, to make myself better so that I could make it on the high school team. But, you know, being that I didn't have resources, I just went to work and stuff like that. So that would be one thing I'd change, is just focusing more on friendships and just doing more activities.
It don't look like Seattle no more.
No, mine's lower. The sun still shines through.
What about you? Yours got a rooftop?
Yeah. So you can throw a rooftop party.
Because you know I went to Franklin too.
98.
98?
Yeah.
You go.
Oh yeah, I'm way older. But guess what? Let me show you something. What we got in common.
What we got? Yeah.
Yeah, we seen a lot of this.
Yeah.
Bulldog stuff, right?
Yeah. Garfield, Rainier Beach, you know.
Our beach,
That's our rivalry. Yeah, but it's good to be back here. It's crazy. You know, like a minority program that they had. Yeah, so they had to let me in or something.
Yeah.
So I just snuck in, which again, probably be like, I don't know if that was a blessing or not. I mean, I could have gone to community college and saved some money, but hey, you know, the universe decided that I should go to undergrad at UW, and it happened, man. So
Go.
I went. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if college was for me or what. But man, my college years were not your typical college experience, you know. I still lived with my grandma at the Rainier Vista, low income. Took the bus, came here to go to school, and then after I was either going to tutoring sessions or to my job at Macy's. I didn't have time no fraternity parties, no nothing, man. I mean, I never had time to like make a lot of friends.
Yeah.
I just knew people from high school that went here. So we knew each other, but never really like were into partying because I didn't have time. So I just picked computer science because, you know, it was the most popular thing and I heard it made a lot of money. But, you know, I don't think I was made out for it. So, but, you know, I did made IT, you know, a career out of it, you know, for a while, but I wasn't a hardcore developer, coder, you know, but yeah. The summer classes that I had to take, you know, and just being around this beautiful campus, you know, it's one of the most amazing campus ever. And so, you know, and especially when it's quiet in the summertime here, it was really cool. Not a lot of students, so, you know, you got to enjoy the summer and just seeing all the architecture, you know. And I think that's what was really interesting to me is the architecture. And I don't know, maybe that's what led me down the real estate path, but you know, for me, it's just seeing all these beautiful buildings that they have here. It's pretty inspiring. All right, guys, now that we're done with my college tour, I'm going to take you over to my first job after college. All right, guys, welcome to where I've got my first job as a bag boy here. I think it was 15 or 16 years old, for working for like $5.25 an hour. But you know, I took it upon myself, walked down here from my house to get this interview and got the job. So it worked out really well for someone going through high school because they're willing to their hours from like 3 to 7 or 4 to 8, and then you can work on weekends as well. But definitely, you know, with this job, you know, it taught me to be on time, to be accountable, be responsible, you know, then also making money that you can, you know, spend on your toys or going out with your friends and stuff. So it definitely was some good memories here. So growing up, you know, I didn't have too many male role models in my life just because, you know, I didn't have my dad or my uncle was busy working, but there's a couple of managers in here that, you know, I looked up to, you know, just guide me through some tough times that I had and some heartbreaks as well. So, they definitely helped me during those times, and you know, I appreciated their help. I was here probably until I started college, so probably 2.5 years or so. So I was working here at the same time I was also working at Macy's. And there was a crossroad in my life that I had to pick between quitting one job. When college started, I had to either pick Safeway or Macy's. And at first, I chose Safeway. So I put in my notice at Macy's, and then of course there was a change of events in my life that I eventually quit Safeway and went back to Macy's. And I think that showed me the way to be more of in the IT field. Because when I was at Macy's, I was like running reports and working a lot on Microsoft Office at that time. So that led me to more of the IT field versus I don't know what would happen if I stuck here. And eventually I got promoted to being in the produce department, but I'm just glad I chose to work at Macy's. So you got a little glimpse of where I came from, where I went to school, where I went to college, a little bit of my first job. So, it's really not about where you came from and, your past that was going to determine your future. It's really what you do about it and how what you make of it. So definitely, don't let obstacles stand in your way, and, you can make anything, that you want to do a possibility. So never give up and just keep on moving forward.